Namaskar everyone. Today we are going to start with another new chapter, that is nationalism in India. About this chapter already you are quite familiar. You have learned about freedom struggle in grade 8. The same chapter we are going to learn in depth about each and every incident that you have already learned. In this chapter, we will learn about the effect of First World War on India, Satyagraha started by Mahatma Gandhi, the various Satyagraha that Mahatma Gandhi undertook, Rowlatt Act, Jallianwala Bagh, Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Dandi March, how people participated in both the mass movement, that is non-cooperation movement, and civil disobedience movement, why certain section of the society did not actively participated in the mass movement, and finally at the end, what were the various factors responsible for creating nationalist feeling among the Indians, and finally we got freedom in the year 1947. So the chapter is going to be quite interesting, and we will learn how after great effort, sacrifice of millions and millions of people, many of them whom we know and many whom we don't know, who have sacrificed their life, and finally today we are breathing fresh air, fresh environment, right? So we need to value this freedom, because after such a great efforts and sacrifice we have attained this freedom. So let's see how this freedom which we are enjoying today was achieved by our freedom fighters. So, the first thing that comes in our mind is nation. Before we go in depth about the nation, we need to know about the meaning. When people are motivated to fight, I cannot ask you, come on, you have to fight for me. I am your teacher, I am your guru, and today you have to fight against him or her. So maybe out of 100, 10 may be ready to do this, 90 will deny. Why should I fight for you? What benefit I will get? How it is going to benefit the future? How it is going to benefit my family? Many such queries will come in the mind of a person. So finally, there has to be some reason why person will fight. And this reason is nation. Till the person do not have the feeling, this is my country, my nation, the people will not group together, will not come together to fight for freedom. And when that nation feeling can come, when they are united, when they have the common culture, they have the common past, they have the common history, and they believe they belong to one family, what we call it as Vasudev Kutumbakam. When these feelings arise in the heart and mind of people, then they come together and a nation is born, a nation is formed, a nation is created. Otherwise, every person belonging to the different religion, different region, they just keep on fighting with each other. They consider their region to be different from the other, though they have the great similarity among themselves. So, a nation means a body inhabiting particular country or territory, right? A large body of people means, as I said, a group of people living together and they feel that they have the common dissects, history, culture, language and etc. When these commonness comes, then only a nation is formed. And this nation or nation state theory or the terminology came into being during the French Revolution. So many historians believe that this nation state terminology came into use during the French Revolution. So it evolved from the French Revolution, we can say. So how revolution began in France, when the French people, they started feeling that they are belonging to the same family, same nation. So everyone speak French, so common language. Have a common history, so they have all, whether farmer, workers, poor peasant, teachers, doctors, they all were from different sections, but they all were exploited by the first and second state. They were forced to pay the taxes. They did not had a right to property. So they had the common problem. So finally they came together and became the part of the revolution. So here you can see the people from the different religion, community, section of the society, but they believe a revolution can come, a nation can form when they are united. So that's why India, being having different religion, and under religion so many castes, but still today united India we can see, because Indians believe that they are a nation together with the different Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, and all together Indian. Then only this is possible. And that's why the whole world भारत का लोहा मानता है कि भारत के सामने खड़े होना यानी बहुत बड़ी चुनौती को जो है फेस करना है. Now the question arises in our mind कि what led to growth of nationalism in India? वो कौन से कारण थे जिन्होंने भारत के अंदर भारतीयों के दिलों में, दिमाग में राष्ट्र की भावना उजागर की. How people were motivated for fighting for the freedom, right? So when we see over here people from the different community, different religion, different caste, right? Someone is poor, someone is rich, someone is speaking Malayali, someone is Hindu, someone Punjabi, someone from the depressed class. So bringing all the people together, it is very difficult. Almost we can say impossible. But being positive, we always say the word itself says, the word impossible itself says, I am possible. So that's how the winner people they work on. And that's what we will learn, how later on when Gandhiji returned to India in the year 1915, he united all these different sections of the society and created mass movement. And under his guidance, finally in the year 1947, on 15th August, we got freedom. So, what was common among all these people? They were exploited by the British. Whether they were Hindu, they were Muslim, they were Sikh, they were rich, they were poor, male, female, whatever the section of the society they belonged to, they were exploited by the British. So somewhere, something that was common among them was what we call it as nationalism, or we can call anti-colonial feeling. So because of this commonness, the nationalist feeling came in their mind. हमें देश के लिए कुर्बानी देनी पड़ेगी. Right? So here you can see the various leaders again. So everyone now they came together. We need to fight, and then only we will get freedom, and our future generation will be safe. They will breathe in fresh air. They will have a better future. So someone has to take these initiatives. So as I said, the common among them was anti-colonial feelings. This was the common among all these people that you can see here, who belong to different sections. So, when the feeling, we all were united against the British rule, such feeling came, right? So finally they became one. All groups with their own notions, right? No doubt different groups were there. When Gandhiji called for Swaraj, they all became united, but they understood the meaning of Swaraj in their own way, which we will be learning later on in the chapter. So finally, Gandhiji binded them together, right, in a garland, together as a united Indians, and finally the mass movement began for the freedom struggle of our country. So now, what was the first thing that happened in the independence? So talking about when the First World War began. First World War followed by the Khilafat and the non-cooperation movement. So now we will learn in depth about these incidents in our Indian history. Here I have collected some newspaper cuttings of 1914 to 1918 when the First World War was going on. So these are the real newspaper cuttings of that time, which you can see and read the headlines of that particular time. Now we discuss how First World War affected, right, the Indian economy and the society. So when we talk about the First World War began in 1914 on 28th June and ended in 1918. So the war almost went on for 4 years. Britain ruling on India was the part of this First World War. And as we discussed even last year, you have studied in grade 9, right? Both the war, First World War and Second World War, took place in Europe, and almost all the European countries were involved in this by getting divided into 2 groups. One group consisted of Allies power. So Allies power means it consisted of present Russia, at that time it was known as USSR, America, that is USA, England, at that time Britain or United Kingdom of Great Britain, and France. So these 4 countries comprised of Allies power. Against them were the Central Power or the Axis power. So Axis power consisted of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Ottoman Turkey. So these countries were the part of the Central Power or the Axis power. And the other European countries, they joined them. They formed the alliance with them and became the part of the First World War. And finally, when the war was going on, as Britain was ruling on India, surely it is going to affect economic, political and social life of India. So, when the war was going on, it is quite obvious, right? It's quite normal, a lot of expenditure will take place. So, when expenditure takes place, we need to come up with the solution from where we will get more money, from where we will get the financial help. As we learned last year in French Revolution, when the treasury of the royal treasury was empty, Louis XVI decided to increase the tax, and for that State General's meeting was called. So what he did? He decided to increase the tax. So here also, when the war expenditure is going high, government has to think of some measures to collect revenue. So what the government did? They increased the custom duties on the Indian and Indian traders. And side by side, or I would say along with it, they introduced the income tax system in India. Okay, those people who have the property or their earning, right, on that they have to pay tax to the government. So this is how the war expenditure was met by the government. So when war began, right, in 1914, right, so what happened? The price of the food, it almost doubled between these years. खाने की जो प्राइस थी उसकी कीमत डबल हो गई. Why? Whatever the production was done, almost it was consumed by the army. Most of them it was sent for the army or the defense. So common people, whom we call it as civilian, they were facing the shortage of food. So therefore, the price of the crop increased. And this led to the difficulty level, or we can say the hard life of the people began. They have to live a miserable life. Further, the government forced Indian villagers or Indian people to join the army, because when the war is going on, many soldiers, they become the part of the casualty. Many get injured and most of them die in the war. They sacrifice their life for the country. So to replace them, Indians were forced to join the defense, which was not a good step taken by the government, and even the Indians boycotted this. Further, due to the famine, due to the bad monsoon, the crop failed. And the life of the Indians became even more miserable because it led to shortage of food. So, it's quite obvious that when shortage is there, it will lead to disease like epidemic, influenza. And as per the census, what we have in our textbook and provided during that time, according to census 1921, 12 to 13 million people, they became the victim of the epidemic or influenza. So see the numbers of people who became the victim.